Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Interfaith Paths to Peace morning devotional. We are excited to have everyone with us as we begin our morning devotional with our Baha'i community here in Louisville. I now invite Dr. Cyrus and Jason to unmute themselves and begin.
Okay, yes. Welcome everyone to this morning's devotional. As you see, the theme of this morning's readings and contemplation is the unity of human family. I was just going to give you a very brief historical perspective, and I'm going to start with a very graphic example. You know, all of us are made because of the unity of the sperm and egg. Neither of them have an independent life of themselves. But when they unite, our body forms. And then, of course, throughout the 9 months or 40 weeks of pregnancy, we become complete, ready to step into this world. While we are in this world, we have a lower self and a higher self, spiritual and physical existence. We are called individual because the higher and lower self must become indivisible in order for us to be a perfect or complete human being. And then life of the society start with the unity of family, of tribe, nation. All of these took place and were initiated by one of the divine revelations of God. Today is the time for unity of the entire human family. And the very fact that we are able from every corner of the world participate in this meeting, and we have the facility to do so, is one of the big testimonies to the fact that the human family's unity not only is feasible, but it is critical for the life of humanity to sustain and succeed on this planet. Without any further ado, I would invite Shabnam to start with a prayer.
This is a prayer for unity from Baha'u'llah. Oh my God, oh my God, unite the hearts of thy servants and reveal to them thy great purpose. May they follow thy commandments and abide in thy law. Help them, O God, in their endeavor, and grant them strength to serve thee, O God. Leave them not to themselves, but guide their steps by the light of thy knowledge, and cheer their hearts by thy love. Verily thou art their helper and their Lord.
Mm.
Sorry, friends, there's no sound, huh? Oh, let me
Can you put that, just leave that in the middle after a few readings?
Sure.
So you can work
I'm going to stop for one moment and
Sure.
then we'll start again here.
We've often talked about how the challenges in technology is our opportunity to offer to God not just the best parts of ourselves, but the fullness of ourselves. And
Very
that
well said.
it's a blessing to have those in the midst of our worship, because it reminds us that we don't need to be perfect in order to experience God's love.
Thank you, Rabbi Nadia. Okay.
Verily, the words which have descended from the heaven of the will of God are the source of unity and harmony for the world. Close your eyes to racial differences and welcome all with the light of oneness.
Maybe.
Do you want me to read this one?
Yeah, please do, Pune. Thank you.
The purpose of the one true God, exalted be his glory, in revealing himself unto men, is to lay bare those gems that lie hidden within the mind of their true and inmost selves, that the diverse communions of the earth and the manifold systems of religious belief should never be allowed to foster the feelings of animosity among men, is in this day of the essence of the faith of God and his religion.
Be united, speak in harmony. Let your minds apprehend alike. Common be your prayer. Common be the end of your assembly. Common be your resolution. Common be your deliberations. Alike be your feelings. United be your hearts. Common be your intentions. Perfect be your unity. Hindu scriptures.
Blessed is the spot and the house and the place and the city and the heart and the mountain and the refuge in the cave and the valley and the land and the sea and the island and the meadow. Blessed, blessed blessed. Blessed is the spot and the house and the place and the city and the heart and the mountain and the refuge in the cave and the valley and the land and the sea and the island and the meadow. Blessed is the spot. Blessed is the spot. Blessed is the spot. Blessed. When mention of God have been made and His praise glorified, when mention of God have been made and His praise glorified. Blessed is the spot and the house and the place and the city and the heart and the mountain and the refuge in the cave and the valley and the land and the sea and the island and the meadow. Blessed is the spot. Blessed is the spot. Blessed is the spot. Blessed. 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 Blessed.
Behold, how good and pleasant it is when brothers dwell in unity. Psalm 133, verse 1.
Extend hospitality to strangers. Bless those who persecute you. Keep on blessing them and never curse them. Rejoice with those who are rejoicing. Cry with those who are crying. Live in harmony and unity with each other. Do not be arrogant, but associate with humble people. Do not think that you are wiser than you really are. Do not pay anyone back evil for evil, but focus your thoughts on what is right in the sight of all people. If possible, so far as it depends on you, live in peace and unity with all people. Apostle Paul, Romans 12, verses 13.
Consort with the followers of all religions in a spirit of friendliness and fellowship. Baha'u'llah.
Baha'u'llah hath said that the various races of humankind lend a composite harmony and beauty of color to the whole. Let all associate, therefore, in this great human garden, even as flowers grow and blend together side by side, without discord or disagreement between them. Abdul Baha.
Let all associate, therefore, in this great human garden, even as flowers grow and blend together side by side. Love ye all religions and all races with the love that is true, true and sincere, and show that love through deeds, and show that love. Let all associate, therefore, in this great human garden, even as flowers grow and blend together side by side. The tongue of grandeur hath however in the day of his manifestation proclaimed it is not his to boast, who loveth his country as flowers grow and blend together side by side. Even as flowers grow and blend together side by side by side.
The utterance of God is a lamp, whose light is these words: Ye are the fruits of one tree and the leaves of one branch. Deal ye one with another with the utmost love and harmony, with friendliness and fellowship. Baha'u'llah. John, can you unmute?
I'm trying. Okay, sorry. I'm going to start again if that's all right. Hold fast all together to God's rope, and be not divided among yourselves. Remember with gratitude God's favor on you. For you were enemies, and he joined your hearts in love, so that by his grace you became brethren. Thus does God make your signs clear to you, that you may be guided. Let there arise out of you one community, inviting to all that is good. From the Quran.
Let no one work one's undoing, or show contempt in any place. Let no one wish another harm through provocation or resentful thought. Just as a mother with her life protects her child, her only child, let all embracing thoughts for all that lives be yours, and all embracing love for all the universe, in all its height and depth and breadth, unstinted love, unmarred by hate within. Buddhist scripture.
Whatsoever hath led the children of men to shun one another, and hath caused dissension and division amongst them, hath through the revelation of these words been nullified and abolished from the heaven of God's will, and for the purpose of ennobling the world of being and of elevating the minds and souls of them, hath been sent down that which is the most effective instrument for the education of the whole human race. Of old it hath been revealed, love of one's country is an element of faith in God. Tongue of grandeur hath, however, said the day of his manifestation proclaim, it is not for him to boast who loveth his country, but it is his who loveth the whole world.
He who experiences the unity of life sees his own self in all beings, and all beings in his own self. and looks on everything with an impartial eye. Bhagavad Gita.
Anita, would you want to read that one?
That one indeed is the man who today dedicated himself to the service of the entire human race. The great being saith, "Blessed and happy is he that ariseth to promote the best interest of the peoples and kindreds of the earth. It is not for him to pride himself who loveth his own country, but rather for him who loveth the whole world. The earth is but one country, and mankind its citizens."
For this last one, I think, Dr. Cyrus, you have a few words you want to say.
Yes, I have a few words to say about it. You know, there is a beautiful passage or tablet from Abdul Baha talking about the sufferings, imprisonments, exile, being deprived of a happy and healthy life. Baha'u'llah endured all of these in order, Abdul Baha says, in order that the primal oneness that was deposited in the heart of creation bear its destined fruit. From this short passage, it becomes evident that at the moment of creation, that we don't really know how many billions of years it was, God's purpose for creation was that one day the entire human race to become united. And therefore, that primal oneness that was deposited in the heart of creation to bear its fruit. Baha'u'llah tells us that the time for bearing of that fruit is now. And any suffering is worth, dispensing with and sacrificing oneself. And of course, during the whole Baha'i and the Babi era, we have 21,000 souls who willingly, with being given the opportunity to recant, lay their lives in the path of flourishing the teachings of Baha'u'llah for the cause of unity of human race. In 1983, a few years after the Islamic Revolution in Iran, the government had a constitution, and in that constitution, the Baha'i faith and its members essentially didn't exist. So the plan was to emasculate the entire Baha'i community, because Baha'u'llah and Abdul Baha and the teachings of Baha'u'llah value education so much. The government expelled the students from school, dismissed the professors and teachers. One of these students who was dismissed from her class, was a 16-year-old girl in Shiraz, the same city that Bob rose from. She was dismissed. Mona thought about, now that I'm dismissed, I can spend my hours in teaching the children, the young ones. So she gathered a lot of the neighborhood children and started a class and taught them elementary school stuff. There were some other women who were doing something similar to this, all of them Baha'is. government arrested them. And after a trial, especially I'm focusing on Mona because she was the youngest, she single-handedly challenged and defeated the mullahs and others who were trying her. And she basically shut their mouth from saying anything to convince her. So she said, they gave her a chance to recant and live her youthful life to go on. And she said, no, I'm a Baha'i and I remain a Baha'i and my purpose is to serve. So when she and other women were condemned to death, the bus trip that they took from prison to their gallows, they chanted the prayers for unity in the bus. And when they got there, before being hanged, they asked the executioner, let them put the noose around their own neck. And before putting it, they kissed it and then putting it around their neck. And of course, every one of them drank from the cup of martyrdom. And it made really a big headlines back in the 80s. And so this was a 20th century stuff. And I thought some of us may have forgotten or may not have heard about it. A Canadian singer, Doug Cameron, was really touched by this. And he put a music to it. And the first part of this music are some Persian revolutionary guards who come to desecrate a graveyard and say some curse words, which fortunately is in Persian, so you won't understand. And then listen to the music and enjoy. And Rabbi Nadia, do not hesitate to hum that all week as much as you wish. Please go ahead, Jason.
آره برادر کلک همشونو میکنی یالا آره
یالا زود باش کار داریم میخوایم بریم زود باش بجام از اول کاره
آره برادر کلک همشونو میکنی
Love that burns so bright. This is where I've got to be.
her. What could she say? She said, you can't break my heart, you can't take my faith away. When they told her the price that she would pay, she said, take my life, take it all away. All away. Mona with the children, send your love to me. Send your love. I see you dancing. Mona with the children, send your love to me. Send your love. Every precious moment you'll be dancing. Every precious moment you'll be free. Children, send your love to me. Send your love. Our souls go dancing. You gave your life, all around the world. We'll go dancing. All around the world we'll be free. Oh, send your love. Send your love around the world. Souls are dancing. Send your love to me. Send your love around the world. I see you dancing, so bravely dancing. Oh, Mona, send your love. Send your love around the world. We'll go dancing. Oh, Mona, send your love to me. Send your love. I've been dancing. Send your light to me. Send your light like the world, and we'll be dancing.
Mona Mamounishad était une jeune fille de 16 ans.
Thank you, friends. This concludes the devotional part of the today's. I'm sorry, I can't. So go ahead, please make any comments or thoughts or reflections.
So I've unmuted everyone. That's an incredibly powerful and horrifying video, I think. It really shows the evil that human beings are capable of and the ways in which religious difference has been used to divide, and I think it really shows the dangers of what happens when religion is used as a weapon instead of the way it was intended, which is to unify us. I'm sure that a lot of people on Facebook Live, as well as right now, are a little impacted by the violence of the imagery of the noose around the neck. I know I am. It's certainly a hard thing to watch. But I think when we talk about prayer and unity of humanity, and we don't always think about, and it sounds nice, but we don't always think about the incredible violence that is done in the name of religion. And, that is what we need to work to fight. And in many reasons, I would say that video kind of is the raison d'etre, the reason for being for organizations like Interfaith Paths to Peace, or for the Baha'i community's commitment to building understanding and tolerance in this world, so that nobody has to go through what Mona went through and all of the others. So thank you, Dr. Cyrus, for educating us on the ways in which the Baha'i community has been persecuted by Iran's for their religious beliefs. I don't know how many people were aware of that, but certainly it's very powerful to witness. I don't know if anyone has anything that they would like to share.
I did have one thought. So Baha'is just ended, yesterday was the end of a 12-day festival for Baha'is called Rizvan, which means paradise. And it really celebrates the beginning of the Baha'i faith when Baha'u'llah announced his mission to his followers and to his family members, close friends, and in this period, one of the most beautiful things about it, because it's the very beginning of his mission, and he hadn't really revealed laws or that many things yet. But the first law that he revealed was actually in that garden, and it was an end to holy war. And he said that in this day, it's not acceptable for anyone, the follower of any religion, to do violence to another, in the name of religion. And so it was one of the very first things that he said. And then, of course, also part of the message was the oneness of humanity and reaffirming it, that it is a truth that has run through all of the religions of the past, and that idea was being renewed again, in today. And that was, so that's, we just got done celebrating that period. Yesterday was the 12th day of Rizvan, which is the last day of Rizvan. So we had a holy day celebration last night, and we're commemorating that.
Jason, thank you for bringing that up, because Baha'u'llah said two other things and that moment of announcement. And I think I need to go back very quickly, because very soon after the passing of Prophet Muhammad, his faith, most part of it, was taken hostage, essentially, by a group of militant and violent people that felt whoever does not embrace the Islam is worthy of being killed. And because the book of God is sufficient unto us, meaning Quran, they went wherever they occupied and conquered, they burned all the libraries. So the two other teachings of Baha'u'llah, along with forbidding or annulling the law of holy war or jihad, was it is better for a Baha'i to die rather to kill. And the third one was completely disallowing the burning of books. They said the books are the repository of the knowledge for human race, and it should be dealt with utmost respect and be held in very distinguished and dignified homes and libraries.
The question to ask Cyrus, in the world, how many Baha'i believers there are?
I say thank you for that question. It is it's hard to know, but there are around 6 million people. And the reason I said it is hard to know is that in the country of its birth in Iran, through the pathway that Baha'u'llah recommended, independent investigation of reality and access to internet, a lot of young people have investigated and read the Baha'i writings on their own without even knowing another Baha'i. and that they have embraced that their numbers, based on statistics that come from some European agencies, is between 5 to 15 million people. And that, you know, Iran, when I left Iran about 50 years ago, we had about 300,000 Baha'is. And of course, after the revolution, some people left, but numerically we are there in Iran under 400,000. But as I mentioned, a lot of other people who have embraced the faith, and there are between 5 and 15 million. So that number that I gave you is based on the statistics that are being held by the Baha'i community, the registered Baha'is under 6 million.
The other question I have for you, Israel, to the best of my recollection, has a temple, very substantial and very beautiful temple, Bahá'í. How do you identify this particular country as being very symbolically Bahá'í?
Yeah, you know, that that area of the world is den of the prophets. If you really think about it, that area, Moses, Jesus Christ, Muhammad rose from that area, and not on his own accord. Baha'u'llah was exiled from Iran to that area. So yes, I think it's a very holy place. Right now is also it's a dangerous and unstable place, but we know that ultimately that will be the city of God, from which the law of the Lord will go forward. And we also have the headquarters of the Baha'i administration and a spiritual center in the city of Haifa. And a lot of people, even with the violence that's going around, that area of the Baha'i Gardens is known as Island of Peace, because everyone is welcome to go there and enjoy themselves.
Well, and I would say that Haifa is a city that is unique in Israel in its interfaith commitment. And one of the things that, you know, strikes me as we think about concluding our worship service this morning with the Baha'i community is the Baha'i community's worship theme for today was the unity of humankind. And you know, the poignant ending of seeing the violence that is possible when we human beings forget our inherent unity. You know, we read beautiful scripture of all of the world's religions telling us that we were created to be one human family. And yet, as human beings, sometimes we take things that are true and we recognize the power that is within them that I choose to call sacred, and we use them for personal gain. It was beautiful also the scripture of Baha'u'llah that talks about how, you know, at this time we need to forego love of country in order to recognize love of humanity and love of this planet, that we are all citizens of this earth, of the same planet. And that certainly in our day is so powerful. And as we live in a world where diversity is a contentious topic, the power of these teachings is so important. So Jason, I'm wondering if you would be willing to help us conclude by letting us listen again to that beautiful Baha'i scripture of how we are like the flowers, all the different races are like the flowers, because I feel like it would be very helpful to end on a note of joy and hope and optimism, lest we allow the sadness that comes from when human beings forget their true purpose, right? Our true purpose is to be one human family. And so let us be reminded of why we were created, so that we can go forth into this beautiful day and remind others and keep the cautionary tales of what can happen when we forget and when we think that that our differences matter, because that is when danger begins. Thank you, Jason.
Beautiful. Thank you. Oh, sorry, friends.
Perfect.
Let all associate, therefore, in this great human garden, even as flowers grow and blend together side by side. Love ye all religions and all races with the love that is true, true and sincere, and show that love through deeds, and show that love. Let all associate, therefore, in this great human garden, even as flowers grow and blend together side by side. The dawn of grandeur hath however in the day of his manifestation proclaimed. It is not his to boast, who loveth his country
Thank you, Jason, so much for that. And thank you all for participating and leading us in worship. Thank you for reminding us of the urgent need for us to continue to do this work, to build bridges in this world, to build bridges of understanding and tolerance and respect and reverence. It is critical that we fulfill the words of that sacred teaching, that we can soon come to appreciate the beauty of the human garden, and that all of us can find that beauty and share that beauty with others. And I know that all of you will want to tune in with us next week for the Baha'i community's worship, but if you want, you get to do it tomorrow morning as well. So Jason, I don't know if you can show the Baha'i community's page again for people who might be interested. In addition, tomorrow, there is the Interfaith Paths to Peace is hosting a weekly big table dinner. And that is an opportunity to have dinner with people across the world and come together and sit, and then we break into small groups and we connect and learn. We're actually working with the Mayor's Office of Globalization in order to truly have a universal table where we have participation from across the world. Other very exciting events that is happening this week, in addition to our usual events. So Monday morning, our Interfaith Paths to Peace morning devotional begins with meditation. On Tuesday, we've got Cantor Lip from the Conservative Synagogue who will be singing. Wednesday, we have Zen meditation. We also have a couple of very special panels this week. So one panel that is very important and exciting is on May 5th at 3 p.m. We are going to have a clergy panel with different representatives of clergy from Louisville who will be speaking about the religious teachings that might guide us in reopening our congregations and communities. So as much as there have been some beautiful gifts that have come from being forced to connect online with the internet, we may want to think about reopening our congregations at some point when the CDC tells us it's safe. So how do we go about doing that? Are there things we want to keep, like for example, our connectivity? Those are questions that we're going to be having on May 5th at 3 p.m. And then next weekend, immediately after our Interfaith Paths to Peace Baha'i Community Morning Devotional, we're going to be having a special program for Mother's Day weekend. So next Saturday morning, we're going to be having a program with representatives from all the world religions, including Pune has graced us by representing the Baha'i community, and it's going to be called The Sacred Feminine Wisdom, where we will speak to women from different religious traditions to learn about how they understand the sacred feminine in their respective religious traditions. And so that's going to be a really wonderful opportunity for us to learn about our commonality, those things that unite us. And my hope and prayer with all of the things that we do and with the work that Interfaith Paths to Peace does, and Dr. Cyrus, thank you for your leadership on the board of this organization, is that we can build a world where we can soon and quickly all realize that we are members of one human family. So please check us online or on Facebook, and we look forward to having you all join us. And blessings to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you,
And
Rabbi
we are
Nadia.
no longer live on Facebook. So
Wonderful. Thank you so much for all the words of wisdom, Rabbi Nadia, and just always a pleasure to serve with you.
thank you. I appreciate it. And Pune, thank you. I saw you responded to my email.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you so much for asking me to serve on the panel. I'm so yeah, I'm just really excited, and I've been actually delving into the writings more with regards to women, and I was particularly touched and moved by the film of Mona, which I've seen obviously several times, but you know, it's such a sign of the courage that's displayed by women and has been throughout the generations, and we continue to be elevated and our station continues to be dignified. So I'm just excited to participate, and yeah, I really look forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. Parents, thank you for joining us, and blessings to everyone. May your day continue to be blessed, and may you be blessings to everyone.
Thank you.
So nice to meet all of you.
Thank you.
Bye.